Hi guys, welcome back on my channel, and in this video I'll be creating another expert advisor which will be based on these two indicators that you can see on my screen. So that is ADX and SAR indicator, but in this case the expert advisor will be a little bit different from the other ones that I have already created, and that's because this is going to be fully dynamic expert advisor. What I mean by that, normally in expert advisors I use some static variables. With that I mean that, for example, take profits and stop loss are static. So for example, I set take profit to 100 points, stop loss to 500 points, and I use these values for the whole testing of an expert advisor. But in this EA, every signal, every take profit, every stop loss, everything will be based on these two indicators. So I think this will be an interesting change from the typical EAs that I create, and hopefully this will give you some ideas for your own softwares. Okay, so without further ado, I think I can get to the coding part. So I will open my IDE, which is right here. I will open my experts, and yeah, this is the same process as every time. Basically, new expert advisor. I will call it ADX/SAR indicator, and yeah, that's all I need. So as the first step, I will deal with the indicators. I will create the handles for it. Then I will load assign indicators to the handles, and also retrieve the values from those handles. So that's like the first step that I will be doing. So let's get to it. So right here on the global scope above on this onInit function, I will create two handles. The first one is ADX. Okay, this is not what I want. ADX handle, and the second one is SAR handle. Okay, and yeah, that's it. Now above that I will create an input parameters for the indicators, because the indicators take like some values, and that's what I want to do right here. So input integer ADX period, let's set it to 200, and also input integer and or double, because now we are dealing with SAR indicator, and if we check the SAR like input values, it's step and maximum. These are not the initial values, I've changed them, and I will be using these. Okay, yeah, so that's what I need to add into my expert advisor. So input double step, or SAR step is equal to 0.01, and input double SAR max is equal to 2. Okay, so this is everything I need. Now I will move on this onInit function, and I will assign the indicators to the handles. So ADX handle is equal to ADX for simple, current period, and ADX period, and then SAR handle is SAR symbol period, and now SAR step and SAR max. So I don't usually use the SAR indicator, so I hope that I won't encounter any issues during the coding part. If so, I'm sorry for that. Okay, so now we have to create two arrays in which we will store the indicators values. So the first one will be ADX array, and the second one will be SRR array. And yes, I forgot one thing. If you remember how we work with an ADX indicator, you surely know that this is not enough, because we need to, like in the ADX, you have these two lines. Each of the lines represent one side of the trend, and therefore we need values for both of these lines, and that's why I will do ADX upper array. So this is the separate array for the bullish line, and then I need also separate array for lower array for the bearish. Okay, so this is what I need. And now on this onTick function, what I will do, I'm thinking of creating like small functions to make it more readable for you, and I think it's a good practice also. Yeah, so that's what I will do. So I will go down here. I can delete all of these things because I won't be using them, and I will create a new function of type void, so it won't return any value, and it will let's call it something like get indicator values. Okay, so something simple, so we know what the function is for. And then we call copy buffer with indicator handle, which is firstly ADX handle. So buffer number. So yeah, we have been through this. Basically with the buffer number, we access different values. With ADX, buffer number of 0 is this overall line which tells you the strength of the current trend. Buffer number of 1 gives you information about this bullish line, and then ADX of or buffer number of 2 gives you information about this bullish line. So firstly I will retrieve information for the bullish line, so buffer number of 1, starting position 0, and I need, okay, so let me think about it. I think I will only need one value. If this changes during this tutorial, I will change the code later. And I want to store it into ADX upper array. Now I can copy this, paste it down below here. I will change the buffer number to 2, and I will store this to lower array. Okay, so now I have also indicator information or indicator value for the second line, and then I need also the values for the SAR. So SAR handle, buffer number of 0, I think, starting position of 0, and here I need 2 values, and I will explain why right now. So basically the ADX will be used for the trend determination. That means that we check which of these values or which of these lines is higher, and that gives us the trend. And then we want to look for an entry signals, and for the entry signals we will use this SAR indicator. And if I check the chart, I think it's pretty obvious. So for the buy signals, we want to see something like this. So the SAR is previously above the price, and then then it changes and is below the price. Okay, so that's what we want to see. And for sell, we want to see the exactly like opposite thing. So we want to see that the previous SAR was below the price, and now it's above the price. So that's what we will be looking for, and for this we need 2 last values, so we can check the change. So yeah, that's it. So let's go here on this onTick function, and we can call this get indicator values. Okay, so this is great. Now let's think about the second step. So the second step might be, or I should have done this at the beginning of this tutorial, but I will do it now. So now I will be opening some positions, and for that I need to import the trade function. from MQL5, and then I will create an object called trade. So this is just what I need to do. Okay, so now we will move to the part where I will be generating signals, and based on the signal I will be opening buy or sell positions. Okay, so let's get to it. So I will create a new function of type integer. So it will be of type integer because I will return integer for different signals. So for the buy signal it will be number of 1. For sell signal it can be something like a number of 2. Okay, so signal function and fun section. Okay, so this is it. So now let's divide the code. So firstly check a buy, and here below check sell. Okay, so for the buy function, what we want to see is that we want the ADX upper array to be higher than ADX lower array. So this is like our first condition that has to be met. Yeah, and without this condition we won't progress further. And once this is equal to true, then I will create another condition which will be something like SAR array at position 0 is higher than I close symbol period current shifted by 1. So now we are checking. So if we were checking this this moment, firstly we are checking this bar. Okay, so this is the shifted bar, and now we are checking for the current bar. Okay, so this is for the shifted bar, and SAR array at position 0, so this is the current SAR is higher or is lower than I close symbol period current shifted by. Okay, so now it occurred, one thing occurred to me as I am coding this, is that if I okay, so what I will do is that I will use shift 1 here, shift 2 here. So basically what I will be receiving is that I will receive the signal 1 candlestick later. Okay, so yeah, so this is what this will do, and for that I need to change these values right here. Okay, but yeah, this is okay, and if this happens I will return number 1. So this is like for the buy signal. Now I will copy this, paste it here, and let's just change these signs here, and everything else should stay the same, I think. But here I will return number 2, and if neither of these if else statements are true, then I will return 0. So 0 like is for no position. Okay, so then I will return here on this on tick function, and I will create integer variable called signal, and I will assign its value to the signal function. Okay, so this is good. Now let's check whether we can open a position. So if positions total equals 0, so I just want one position at a time. So yeah, so this is the first condition, and now let's check buy position. So for the buy position it will look something like if signal is equal to 1. Okay, then I can trade buy. Okay, symbol. Okay, so now price, I forgot to create ask variable. So symbol ask and bit variable. Okay, symbol bit. Okay, so I will use ask price, and now stop loss and take profit. As I want this expert advisor to be dynamical and be based only on signals, so I will paste it 0 and 0, so I won't have any like static targets, and I will create a comment that says buy. Okay, and let's do the same thing here. So position, if signal is equal to 2, we want to sell, and we want to sell at bid price, telling us. Okay, so this is good for now. So let's test it out, and then let's discuss what will be our targets, or what has to happen in order to close the buy and sell positions. Okay, so I will go back here. I will go to the tester, and let's see if this initial draft works. So YouTube, and this is ADX SAR. Yeah, I've tested some of my EAs previously here, so that's why this is so messed up here. So I will change it to USD yen, and I want to use the visual mode. Okay, so let's see if anything happens. Okay, so the buy works as it should be working. So here you can see the change, and you can see that our bullish line is above the bearish line. So that's what I want to see. And we won't open any other positions because we have that condition for one position at a time. And since we don't have any take profit and stop loss, this won't be closed. But we can say that since the sell stop is based on the same principle, it should work as well. Okay, so now let's discuss how we will close the position. So if I check this, we have multiple ways of doing this. The first way that comes into mind is that what I can do is that, for example, if I open a buy position right here, I can close. Okay, if it's in a profit, okay, so let's say that we are in a profit, we open buy position right here, and we are in a profit, and yeah, so we are in a profit, and then we close the position with a new signal, like to the other side. Okay, so here it tells us that we should sell, and therefore at this point we will close the buy position. But this will only happen if we are in a profit. If we are in a loss, then we won't close position based on this. And does it make sense? Oh, sorry. I think that it does make sense. And so this is like our take profit condition, and our stop loss condition will be change of the trend. Okay, so yeah, so at this point we open buy position and we don't close it until there's change of the trend, which happens right here, we will close the position. And the same goes for the sell position. So for example, here we are opening a sell position, or we are not opening a sell position because there's not the trend that we want. But let's imagine that we open position right here, and take profit is at this point where we change the SAR indicator, and our stop loss will be change of the trend, which would occur right here. Okay, or do you know what? To make it simpler, I will close positions only at the change of the ADX. Okay, so this will make it more simpler and more clean. And also I'm not good at explaining things, so yeah, so this is what I will go with. Okay, So for this we have to do a new function of type of void, and let's call it closing positions. And basically what okay, so there are two things that we need to change. The first one, that we need to spot the crossover of the ADX values and therefore we need two values in here. And since we are adding the second value, we have to change the position in array. So yeah, so now the code is adjusted and correct. So let's continue. Okay, so let's create a variable called crossover, which is a Boolean variable. So it will so it's like for true or false statements, and let's check whether there is a crossover of the ADX. So if ADX lower array at position 0 is higher than ADX upper array at position 0, and ADX lower array at position 1 is lower than ADX upper array position 1, or so now let's put this into parentheses. Now I will take this, paste it here, and I will just change the signs. So this like catches both of the possible crossover types. So the first type is that we go into a bullish market, and the second type is that we go into the bearish market. So this catches both of those conditions, or both of those possibilities. And if this crossover happens, then we want to do something like this. So for int x equal to 0, so we will loop through all of the open positions, and yeah, we will close them. So ticket is equal position get ticket, and yeah, position get ticket now, and this is all I need, I think. So trade position close with the ticket -1. Okay, so let's see if this works. So this is opening position, so I will call the closing function below the code that opens positions, and yeah, it should work. So if I go back here, I click on start, and let's see what happens. So we are opening a buy position, and we have closed. Did we close it? No, we shouldn't close it. Okay, so there's an issue, as you can think. And okay, so let's repair this piece of code. Okay, so what's happening? ADX lower is ADX upper. Lower array, so this is like I don't think this is the case, because this should return the condition right away, but let's see. And yeah, so the same thing happens right here, but let's wait. So for example, in this case, so with the sell position it works as it should, but with buy position it didn't work. So and now it works as well. Okay, so, and here the same thing happened. Okay, so I think that I know where the issue is, and I right after this position is closed, I will tell you, or I will repair the code. Okay, this is taking too long. We are waiting for change of the trend. But you can see that this can be pretty profitable for us because we are holding this huge movement. Okay, so this is this is crazy actually. Okay, now we want to close our position. So let us close our position, and it happens right here. So this is it. And then we take bunch of these little positions. And I don't like this, to be honest. So what I will do is that I will also create a static variable called static integer called entry bar equals 0. If I open position, I will assign new value to the entry bar right here, and I will close positions only if there's a crossover and the current bar is different from the entry bar. Okay, so this should take care of it, but let's see if it really does. Okay, and it does. Perfect. So this is what I wanted, and yeah, so this is our huge buy position, and yeah, this is what I wanted. So this works really nice, I would say. So yeah, this is perfect. Yeah, so what I will do right now is that I will add one more functionality to this, and this is something that I really like to use with the SAR indicator, and that is because you can use SAR as a trailing stop. So let's imagine that you open a position somewhere here, for example, okay, and your trailing stop can be this SAR, okay, so you go up and the stop goes up as well, okay. So this is something that I will try to do. So I will create a new function called trailing stop. Before that, I will create an input boolean variable called use trailing stop. I will set initial to false, and so just to give the user an option to not use the trailing stop. So if use trailing stop, then I will return without doing anything in this function. But in the other case, yeah, let's continue. So this might not be that simple, but I will try not to screw this up. Okay, so okay. Okay, so just 1 second. Okay, so I think I know how to do it. So first we have to loop through all of the open positions, okay? So this is what you need to do every time you do either break even or trailing stop. Then we need a ticket, position get ticket, okay? And what other information do we need? So what we need is we need current price, current, we need type, and I'm thinking if there's and we also need stop loss. Okay, I think this is everything we need. So let's do this firstly for buy positions. So if type equals position type buy. Okay. So let's discuss what are the conditions that we have to meet. So the first condition is that the stop or that the SAR value has so for buy positions the SAR value has to be lower than the price. So for example, if we then switch like to the other side, we don't want to move the stop loss right here, if that makes sense. So we have to check that the SAR is under the current price. So if SAR array at position 0 is below current price, okay, and also that SAR array at position 0, so the SAR value is higher than the previous stop loss, so we go higher, and if both of these conditions are true, then I think this is all we need to do. Position modify ticket, and the new stop loss will be SAR array position 0, and take profit we can leave the initial take profit, which is none, but yeah, take profit position get double, take profit. Okay, so I think this might work. I'm not entirely sure if this is going to work, but it just might. Okay, so let's do the same thing for the sell. So here SAR have to be higher than the current price, and I just changed the signs and it should be the same. So here I will call this trailing stop. Okay, so let's run it. Of course, firstly we have to use trailing stop, and let's run it and let's see what happens. So for example, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so here you can see that we have entered the buy position at this point, and we might be receiving an error, or yeah, and okay, so here at this point we have buy position, or somewhere here we open the buy position, and this is our stop loss, and it moves with the SAR as we want it to, and you can see that our position is closed exactly at the last dot of the SAR. Okay, so this is for our condition. So yeah, so now we open another buy position, and the SAR corresponds with the previous dot, or the stop loss corresponds with the previous dot of SAR, and that's what we need, or that's what we want. Okay, so for buy positions this works perfectly. Now let's see if we can get this also for sell position. Now we are in a bullish market, so no, but let's see. And this is also a very good thing, because if you remember, in the past we held one position over this long movement, but now we open multiple positions in that movement. And yeah, so still buy positions. Okay, so we are still in a bull market, and now we are switching to the sell side. So let's see if we can get any sell positions. Yeah, here was our sell position, but it didn't go well. Another sell position which it went well. Okay, I think this works. So this will be all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Bye.